Good morning, afternoon. Hi, Keela's smiling. Now
So we
Stephanie's
like,
smiling.
good
Good
morning.
afternoon, Haiti Oropesa. Thank God for waking us up. We made roll call today. Um, yes, I want to thank God. And so today we have judicial candidate Cornelius Demps. He's going to come in shortly and he's going to just chat with us about his judicial campaign. And so this is an area of on the ballot that unfortunately a lot of voters don't know enough about the candidates, and so that's my little civic offering. For years now, I've been doing that, bringing on judicial candidates so that the votership they could know, because that's very. Is it important or is it just me? Is that an important
It's
role?
very
Like,
important.
Very
And
important.
it's hard to have enough information to make good decisions, especially when they're non-partisan. Is that me making all that feedback?
I'll tell
Sorry.
you right now. I'll tell you
That
right
was
now if
me.
it is.
That was
Okay,
me.
it was you. It was you. Okay, thanks. All right, so without further ado, we're going to introduce to you Cornelius Demps, and here he is. He's a great guy. Remember, years ago, you may not, but we tried a case against each other. You were a prosecutor at the time.
yes.
We were in Pinellas County. He was a
Okay.
prosecutor. I was a private attorney, and we
Yeah.
had a trial together against each other. And it was, and if I'm not, my memory serves me well, it was in front of Judge Dittmer.
Oh, okay. Let me.
Yeah, it was. Where you were in that division, weren't you? In front of Judge Dimmer, or no?
I was more in the Pasco area more than any time otherwise. So I was in Newport Richie a lot.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I mean, but it could have been. It could have. I definitely do remember you.
Yeah, we had a trial. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so listen, tell us a little bit about yourself, your
Yeah,
career history, and everything, so that the voters can know a little bit about you.
Sure, absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you all for this opportunity of coming on and introducing myself to you, and thank you for putting on this show. There's not a lot of shows out there that really give us judicial candidates an opportunity to introduce our public. So I thank you all for your service. But yeah, my name is Cornelius Demps. Born and raised in Florida, down in Fort Pierce, Florida, about an hour north of Palm Beach. I've been a public servant all of my life. Went to Florida State for undergrad and Stetson for law school over in Gulfport. Began my career as a prosecutor in the Sixth Circuit, mostly in Newport Richie, where I handled some of the most violent cases that you can imagine and gained a ton of jury trial experience. Went on to the Attorney General's office in Tampa, where I became from a trial prosecutor to an appellate prosecutor. So what does that mean? That means as a trial prosecutor, I was putting violent offenders in prison. As an appellate prosecutor, we were fighting to make sure those people stayed in prison. Did that work for about 7 years, and then decided to make the move to private practice, became a corporate litigator in Tampa, working for Bush Ross, where I handled a variety of civil litigation cases and commercial litigation cases, including breaches of contract, partnership disputes, employment law disputes, construction disputes, everything that you can imagine. And 2020, went out on my own and started my own firm. I am now actually, I just ended my presidency of the Georgia Edgecombe Bar Association in Hillsborough County. I've served throughout Tampa Bay, and I'm looking to run for judge to answer my call in public service to the community.
Oops, I accidentally removed you. Let me add, sorry. So I'm doing a lot of things at once. So great and you know what? I could say this. This is a wonderful gentleman. He's so professional, great temperament, which is important to me for persons that are on the bench. But I'd like for Keela and Stephanie, you have any questions?
Well, yeah, of course. My first question, as somebody who knows nothing about nothing when it comes to the legal roles, what exactly does the judge that's sitting in the seat that you are running for do? What type of law? What are their purviews?
Sure. So circuit judges are one of the judges who handle a variety of very serious cases. By a little bit of background, so there's county court judges who handle what we call the people's court. That's things like misdemeanors, traffic offenses, small claims, things of that nature. when cases become more serious or there's more at stake, they go to circuit court. So what does that mean? So in circuit court, you have 5 different divisions, and those divisions have to handle more serious cases that the common public deals with every day. So of the 5 divisions, there is circuit civil, which deals with your civil disputes, your personal injury cases, your business law disputes, your partnership disputes, things of that nature. You have circuit criminal, which deals with felonies. So you're talking about murders, robberies, home invasion robberies, drug trafficking, even very more violent cases that, you can obviously imagine what those can be. You're dealing with family law court, dealing with adoptions and divorces, probate court that deals with wills and trusts, and of course, UFC, Unified Family Court. So when you're dealing with these type of cases that are going to be very serious, litigants have a lot on the line, both their life and their liberty. You want to make sure you have judges in those positions who have the experience, the temperament, and the qualifications to serve in those roles. And I think based on my well-rounded career, I believe I'm qualified to serve in that position.
All right. And which one of those is it like assigned the criminal, civil, family, or is it you deal with all of it?
So you're assigned to a division.
Or
Yeah, you're assigned to a division. When you arrive in court, you meet or arrive to the bench, you meet with the chief judge, and you are assigned to any one of those particular divisions. And I'm ready to serve any division day one.
Okay, got you. I didn't realize that you're kind of running for, hey, which one do you want me to do? You don't really get to pick.
Oh, I mean, I'm willing to serve in any capacity. I think that's what helps me stand out the most in the Group 14 group. We have 2 other candidates in the race who are running, who are very experienced attorneys themselves, but I'm the only candidate in the race who has been a prosecutor, been a defense attorney, been a commercial litigator. I've represented people who've been injured in personal injury cases. I've defended Fortune 500 companies who've had cases brought against them. And I'm the only one with appellate experience, which means I understand the importance of what the courts have to do and what judges, how they need to make the right decisions at the right time. So that way we're not relitigating cases into the future. So any courtroom I'd go to, I'd be honored to serve.
And that is important, actually. Somebody that's well-rounded, that has not only done, did you ever do any defense, criminal defense?
I did.
Okay, so there you go. He was a prosecutor, understands the other side, and then also has experience in the civil realm, which that is important because if he wins, the chief judge could pretty much put him anywhere because he has a lot of experience in all those areas.
Right.
Keila, you want to ask anything?
Well, Stephanie's questions were great. Until recently, I had not had any encounter with judges. However, my view.
So your Wi-Fi is kind of freezing up a little. Stephanie, you want to jump in?
I'm guessing I don't know what she was going to ask, but
she'll
pop back up here.
I'm putting up the ticker on the bottom of the screen. If anybody who's watching live wants to, at this time while it's running live, call in. The call-in number is 727-214-4930, 727, which is a Pinellas County area code. That's the county that and if you win, you can go either to Pinellas or Pasco. Yes, am I right on that?
Yes, correct. I think the overall understanding is whoever wins this seat will go to Dade City for 2 years. And so I live in Wesley Chapel, so I'm also the only Pasconian in this race. Okay,
so Stephanie, you're gonna have to step in because Keila stayed froze.
Yeah, she still froze up. So what made you decide that now's the time to run? Is this the first time you've run for office?
This is the first time that I've ran for any type of political office, but I've been applying for appointments for several number of years. The first time I started applying for judicial appointments was back in 2020. And by way of background, I never thought I'd be a judge. It was never on the radar for me, but my dad thought I'd be a judge. He always believed it. And I was like, no, Dad, I'm going to be a multi-million-dollar personal injury attorney. I'll live in Hawaii. I'll send you some money and that'll be it. But my dad always thought my sister would be a doctor. She became a nurse. And he always said my younger sister would be a teacher, and she is a teacher. She's won the St. Lucie County School Board Teacher of the Year twice in a row. And I never really believed him. And then when I started my career, I just wanted to help people. I just wanted to serve and make sure I took care of folks and did the right thing that I was told to do, and become a prosecutor, an appellate attorney, and then an appellate, and then later on going into commercial litigation. I was actually in the process of going to another firm to be a partner, and I was meeting with my me with my mentor, he was like, you actually have more of a judge's resume than anything else. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, you have the trial experience, the appellate experience, criminal and civil, you have appellate, you're involved in the community, you're a bar leader, you check all the boxes. So I was like, well, let me just at least apply for the appointment process and let's see what happens. And I've been nominated 3 times in the last 2 years for appointments. I've always remembered my first JNC interview was the same day as my dad's wake. So I had to move my whole calendar around so I could be able to attend that. And, I keep applying, and the JNCs of Pinellas, Pasco, and Hillsborough have nominated me for appointments in the past, at least 3 times in the last 2 years. And so this time I was up for an appointment last year and didn't get it. And I wasn't really sure if I was going to run. I thought maybe I'll wait till 2026 or I'll do something else. And, I'm a person of faith and family, and I prayed on it. And I tell people all the time, and I don't hide it. I felt the Holy Spirit told me now's the time to run. And I've been in this race so far. And I can tell you, even with that motivation, that acknowledgement, this road has been tough. It has been very, very tough out here. Our circuit is very large, 2 different counties. It feels like you're running in mini Florida. We say all the time. But like I said, I'm answering my calling of public service, and this seat has opened up. I talked to Judge Mansfield before I filed, and he confirmed that he was retiring, and it's an open seat. So, you don't know what the future holds. Now's the time as any of you ready to serve, and I'm happy to be in this race.
You know what? That you saying that that you felt the Holy Spirit told you that this is now the time. Some people are gonna go, "Ooh, what is that about?" And I'm excited about that because I'm a believer. But if you do win, you're gonna follow the law, the law of Florida, the Constitution of Florida, and that of the United States, and that you're not gonna. How do I put this?
I'm not gonna let my faith get in front of my legal acumen.
Okay, great. Because some people are gonna think, "Oh my, he's gonna try to impose the Bible in court."
I wouldn't do that. And I know with me, as somebody, I'm a person of faith, but I'm also someone who has lived in this real world, and I've experienced everything. I've had highs and lows in this career. I've had great victories. I've been discriminated against, so I know what it is. I think being a criminal defense attorney helps you get up to speed, because when you're a prosecutor, you're used to getting the file when it's just the police report and the information, and you go. When you're a criminal defense attorney, as for me, the moment when it kind of hit was when I had to go to the jail for the first time and actually meet with somebody who was in custody. And I think having that well-rounded experience is something that even my faith talks about, to make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to and honoring the law.
Yeah. Romans 13 says that we're supposed to obey the authorities.
It does. It says they'll obey the authorities and also honor the systems that we have here on this this world. And, we have, good government is good for everybody, right? And of that, judges play a crucial role because they decide cases that really affect everybody's lives every single day, and their decisions give legitimacy to any decisions that are being made, or delegitimize decisions as well. So, I'm a person who I believe that, judges have to follow the law. We should follow the law. This is a system that we've had in this nation for what now? We just celebrated 248 years. And is it a perfect system? No. We have flaws like everything else, but we are still the most premier judicial system on the planet.
Right. And then the judge's role, not that you don't know this already, but it's worthy of mention that the judges judges follow the law.
Right.
You're not in a legislative role. You're in a role to apply the law that has been legislated.
Right.
Stephanie, I know you want to jump in and say something.
Well, I was just thinking about how black and white it is, and how how gray religion can be compared to the law, which is very black and white.
Right.
And we saw some of that what was it? Was it the last election cycle?
Yeah.
There's been headlines. I don't want to name names. If people are following the news, they'll know. But there was a thing with religion, and then a very a judicial campaign turning very ugly.
Yeah.
Right.
So we do. These are things that do have to be discussed. It's great to be a person of faith, but at the end of the day, if you decide that you want to serve, you have to be mindful, as you are, Cornelius, that it's the law of the land,
right?
The Constitution of our state, of our country, the laws that are legislated, that's what you are going to be making a commitment to follow.
Right. And I think as a prosecutor and as a defense attorney, in both the civil and the criminal world, I've been at the mercy of judges who don't want to follow the law on both sides. Judges who make decisions based on their political ideologies or make decisions based on what they think the law should be. And there's nothing worse than being a prosecutor and preparing a case for trial and instructing the jury on what the law is, and the judge decides they're going to do something completely different. And there's nothing worse than being a defense, someone who has a case charged against them. Your life's on the line, and you know, well, the law says this, I have a right to do this, and you get to court, you argue your case, and the judge decides, well, you know, I know the law says that, but really it should say this. And I think that's not the role of what judges are supposed to do. We're not supposed to do that. If people don't like the law or they want changes to it, we have a way to fix that, right? You contact your elected officials, you tell them I don't like it. And those officials either change the law and they stay in power, or they don't change the law and you vote them out. Simple as that.
Amen.
Yeah, and I think,
Right.
you know, and I understand that too. I mean, as someone who, you know, my dad was a U.S. Marine, my mother is a golden member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. So duty, honor, and service is instilled into me, especially service when it comes to our community. And judges, we play a major role in making sure that we are upholding the laws of our state and the laws of our region. And I understand that responsibility. And like I said, I've experienced that my entire life. So I'm willing to take on this challenge and continue to serve.
Stephanie, and I do want you to comment on that, because it's true. Sometimes some people get up in arms like, oh my gosh, is this person going to go in there and start applying biblical principles, or are they going to follow the law? And so just like, as he said, there are people that are not persons of faith, but they're going to insert their philosophy, their political inclinations that are not based on what has been legislated, what the people
That
have
never
asked.
happens. Katie, that never happens. It has never happened in the history of, oh wait, yeah, it happens all the time. Sorry. Well, Cornelius, if you had to pick one of those areas, what would be your sweet spot? You know, what would be your dream job? I mean, you said you do all of them, and of course everybody has to do all of them, but you know, if you can do any of them, which one would be the one that you think that you would enjoy the most?
Well, I mean, I think I would, like I said, I think I could do all 5 of them very well. Being a prosecutor, I could do circuit felony. I have the commercial litigation experience, so circuit civil is fine. But my mom is also a certified adoption specialist, and she goes to dependency court on a regular basis. And my own nieces are the product of adoption as well. So, I mean, I think I would like to be in family law, just to be able to handle those cases. Now, I know there's 2 sides of adoption cases, right? There's the adoption, which is pretty easy, and then there's the termination of parental rights, where that's where all the fight is. But just the opportunity to help, you know, kids and give them the right homes that they need, I think that would be a beautiful opportunity.
So let's talk about your family. You have a beautiful family. Look at that.
Oh yeah. That's my wife Deidre, and both my girls, Alexandra and Audra. Audra, it's tough to get a 3-year-old to smile, man. So I guess it's definitely takes some candy to get that one done there. That shot took many a times. But yeah, I met my wife, Deidre, back in 2014. I was a member of the Fred Menace Bar Association in St. Pete, and I went to a Christmas party that evening. Was not planning on going either. I was going to just stay home. It was a long week of work. I just wanted to sleep. And a good friend of mine was like, no, get down here, socialize, you know, don't be such a hermit. Come out and talk to people. And I was at a long table, and Judge Andrews was sitting next to me at the table, and I was talking to him. And he got up and he walked away to go talk to someone else. And I turned to talk to someone. And then Deidre walked in, and she saw this seat, the table was open, and she was like, hey, is anybody sitting there? So for me, you know, I'm at a crossroads, right? On one hand, I'm like, you know, this is a circuit judge, you know, I want to protect his seat, you know, I may appear in front of him. On the other hand, the girl's kind of hot, so let me go ahead and let her sit here. And then she came and sat down, and we started dating. We ended up having a lot of friends in common. You know, the Stetson High School really does exist very well, as we like to say. Everybody kind of knows each other. Our families actually have a lot of connections in the Jacksonville area, and there's an Instagram photo actually that I didn't email it to you, but I can later. But there's an Instagram photo of me at Prosecutors Night at Tropicana Field, where I'm there with Ashley Hackle and Steve and Scott Andringa, and Deidre is actually in the background of that picture. And that was a year before we met, so I can email it to you later. But that's my wife. She's an attorney as well. She does labor and employment work. So she's general counsel, and she's the love of my life. And we, you know, just try to make it every day just to two lawyer parents here trying to raise beautiful girls.
That's serendipity.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about want to talk about demeanor. I always ask that because it's important. What that means to you, like,
Yeah, sure.
you know, because sometimes I think for the most part, generally, I'm always I'm always happy to see how most of the judges here. I'm gonna speak specifically to this region, how they behave themselves, and they're good. They're great. But every now and again, you'll see something, and you'll go, "Wow,"
Yeah,
and you feel bad for the person that's on the other end.
right. Exactly. I think, when you're dealing with the public on a regular basis, I think having that experience of dealing with people prepares you for this role. So I always tell people the best job I ever had that I think prepared me to be a judge was being a server at a restaurant and getting to know what people are dealing with every day, understanding they're bringing all their problems and their issues and everything to you. And when you're in a courtroom, you're dealing with a different amounts of people with different issues going on. So I was always told, if you become a judge, you have to remember you need to be a thermostat, not a thermometer. And what does that mean? That means you need to control the temperature in the room where you're in. Don't let the temperature of the room control you. And when people have a chance to come to court, there's some folks who really are looking to get redress from the court. They have legitimate issues. They need judges to resolve these cases. So when you're coming to court, you want to make sure that you're showing respect to these people, that you are listening to what their issues are, that you're making sure that you can, issue spot and understand what the legal issues are, but also have some level of empathy to know what they're going through, and not to let the lawyers in the room or the litigants, don't let their temperature try to raise your temperature as well. So,
Okay, so do you want to speak to us to anything else regarding your campaign? I am sharing your website.
sure.
And, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, no, that's really it in a nutshell. I feel at this point I am the most qualified candidate in the Group 14 race. Like I said, I have the most trial, litigation, and appellate experience. As a president of a bar association, I have a long track record of service in the community, including providing free wills to indigent people in the community, giving out scholarships to first generation college bound students. We've helped. We've done a lot of work in that organization and in Pinellas County. I've been a volunteer in boys court for several years with Judge Pierce. I'm a member of the YDI, the Youth Development Initiative. I've put in the work. I've put in the work throughout not only the Sixth Circuit but also Tampa Bay. And when we're electing people to these roles, we want to make sure we're electing people not only who have the demeanor and the experience and the temperament, but also people who have shown a track record of proven leadership. And I have done that. And come August 20th, I would love to have your vote and let us make history when this election comes around.
Okay, so there you go. It's on the screen. Go.
So this is the only election date is August 20th, correct?
Well, it's a 3-person race right now.
Right.
So yeah, whoever gets 51% of the vote wins outright in August. If not, then whoever has the two highest amounts of votes goes on to the runoff election, which the runoff election is going to be in the presidential ballot in November. So our goal is to make sure August is it. We want to be done in August. I think everybody does. But if not, we're prepared to go all the way to the end in November.
Okay, got you. Thank you.
So I liked your setup there on your website, which is dempsforjudge.com. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write that so that on the comments section so people know where to go visit your site. So it's Demps for Judge.
Yeah, www.dempsforjudge.com. That's the website. That also links right to our Facebook page. We also have an Instagram page too called @dempsforjudge.com as well, which we kind of use for day-to-day happenings, what's going on in the election. But definitely go to our website and learn more about us. And again, if you want to vote by mail, you have to request your ballots this year. So you can go actually right onto our website as shown on the screen and request your ballot right from our website.
Yeah, so I'm and you do that for both of the counties, not just Pinellas, but for that's
Right.
pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen this on a judicial campaign, but
Thank you.
so that's very good to inform voters on how to get this done, how to go and vote.
Yeah.
So that you have a tab for how to register, voting by mail. The information's given to voters there. Good job on doing that. And check for your voter status, early voting, and find your voting location.
Right.
So and what's cool is that you just don't do that for Pinellas, but also for the Pasco residents, the same information for that county.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well,
sir.
yeah, that's really nice. I like it.
Thank you.
I like it to inform voters and get us to go out there and do what we need to do. You want to say any last words before we wrap up?
No, just again, thank you all just for this opportunity of coming on to speak. I know it's hard for judicial candidates to say a lot about, you know, what we stand for, because the canons are very, very strict, but having any chance to meet people and letting them learn more about me is an opportunity that I truly cherish. We'd love to have your vote August 20th. And if I get your vote, I promise I'll make you proud.
Okay. Haiti Oropesa with Florida Judge. Stephanie, you want to say anything? Oh, wait, you're muted. You're muted.
Sorry,
Anything else?
Rebooting. Just thank you for coming on with us today. We really did appreciate it.
Awesome.
Okay, well, stay tuned because we are going to just take a momentary break and we're going to come on with judicial candidate D. Jones, who is going to chat with Stephanie Pointer about her judicial campaign for Hillsborough.
All right. Thank you.